Greetings of the day. In this lecture of business finance, we would discuss about project financing from unit number 2. It contains two words, project and financing. Usually a project is an kind of what we can say is special purpose or large capital incentive work or which is been taken by the company, and for that particular project the company would need finance. That is what is project financing. In this video we will discuss about definition of project financing, its characteristics, what are the stages in project financing, aspects of project financing, and lastly what can be the possible sources from where the project financing can go or the company can go for project financing. Starting with the definition of project financing or introduction of project financing, the raising of finance on a limited recourse basis for the purpose of developing a large capital incentive infrastructure project where the borrower is a special purpose vehicle and repayment of the financing will be dependent upon the cash flows generated by the project can be called as project financing. It means that a project financing is an what we can say capital incentive project where borrower act as an vehicle and the repayment of that particular financing would be done would not be done by the borrower, but borrower would be dependent upon the internally generated cash inflows from the project which would be used for the purpose of the repayment of the financing by the borrower. That is what is project finance. So we can, in simple terms, we can say that project financing is funding of long-term infrastructural or industrial projects and public services using non-recourse or limited recourse financing financial structure. The debt and equity used to finance the project are paid back from the cash flows generated by the project. So the company does not have to worry about the repayment, as the repayment would itself be generated from the project. So this was related to the definition of project financing. Now moving to the features or characteristics of project financing. The very first characteristic is it is a capital incentive financing scheme. Capital incentive means it requires huge amount of capital or large sum of money for the purpose of starting or initiating the project. That is why project financing, that is why usually these projects are termed as capital incentive projects, as this project requires huge amount of funds for the purpose of carrying out by the company. Second thing, zero or limited recourse financing solution. The term zero or limited recourse financing solution means the liability to repay the financing would not be in the personal capacity of the borrower, but it would be according to the cash flows generated by the project after it has been successfully installed, and from that cash inflows the repayment of the financing would be done. That is why it is termed as zero or limited recourse financing solution, as the borrower is not in his or her personal capacity what we can say held responsible for the repayment of the financing which is being taken in form of debt or equity by the company. Third characteristic is loan repayment with project cash flows. Remember one thing, whenever there is an project financing, the project financing in it, suppose that debt is been raised by the company, that debt would be repaid from the cash inflows which are generated internally by the project. Company would not supply any kind of fund for the purpose of repayment of financing externally. The project would itself generate the funds and that would be used for the purpose of repayment of the what we can say project financing. We can take example of construction of any highway. For the purpose of construction of highway, suppose that company A has taken the contract, they have initiated the project financing, they have raised the funds, and as the funds are being made by the company, the project has been done. Now when there would be an installation of the toll booth at that particular national highway, then there would be what we can say cash inflow for the company, and that same cash inflow would be used by that infrastructure company for the purpose of repayment of that amount which is being used as a project finance for the construction of that national highway. So loan repayment would be from the cash inflows. Next is better tax treatment. Usually by having the project financing, company can plan its tax treatment as they can decide in advance what to do, how to do, and how to save taxes and how to have the tax planning in advance. Next thing, usually the project financing is done for the long term period and the term usually ranges between 15 to 20 years. It can be anywhere more than 10 years as the project is large capital incentive project. So the project term is usually quite long, that is 15 to 20 years. Next is the risk allocation. Usually a project with huge capital incentive financing scheme have what we can say huge risk attached with it. That is why a risk should be allocated in such a way that it should be managed properly by all the stakeholders in the project, and this allocation is quite necessary when we are going for this kind of project which has limited recourse financing and are capital incentive project. That is why risk allocation is quite necessary in this kind of project. Next thing is, there are numerous project participants as the fund requirement is quite high and the company is itself not able to procure all the funds. That is why they have to add numerous project participants who are willing to invest in the project for the company. Now next thing would be what could be the possible stages in project financing. The very first stage is the identification of the project. The company has to start with the identification of the project. Everyone has to brainstorm it, which project the company is going to accept, why they are going to accept that project, whether it would benefit or whether it would on the initial part would be beneficial for the company or not. These are the very this is the very first stage in which the company has to find out the project which would be acceptable to them in each and every norms. So company would here shortlist 4 to 5 projects, we can say, from the available projects which are in the market. The very first thing is identification of the project. Second thing would be preliminary screening. In this preliminary screening, company would try to shortlist the project which would be finally taken for the consideration of the deep analysis. So out of 5 project, company would select 2 to 3 projects which can be accepted for the purpose of further analysis and research part. This is the second stage, that is preliminary screening. Third one is recognizing and minimizing the risk factor which are associated with the project. In this stage, company has to recognize what are the risks associated with the projects, and secondly, after recognizing the risk, they have to go for minimizing the risk of the project. As we all know, we cannot eliminate the risk from the project, but we would try to manage the risk. How we can manage or minimize the risk? We can do this by what we can say, by previously planning what can be the possible outcomes in the worst situation, or what we can go for having the expert person opinion on that kind of solution can work for minimizing the risk. Next would be the feasibility study, and for that purpose a company usually go for preparing a detailed project report. In it, each and every aspect of the project would be considered. What would be our next point? These aspects as well as sources of project financing would be covered in detail in that project report. That would be the what we can say feasibility study. In it, we would see that whether the project is feasible to accept or not. If not, the company would reject the project and try to find out another project. If the feasibility study the projects stand for the positive terms, then the aspect and the sources would be seen so that the project would be accepted. Next thing is the appraising and financing. Next thing is the appraisal of the project. For that purpose, financing is need to be arranged by the company, and for that purpose, company would go for the what can be the possible sources and who could be the possible investor in the project financing. Company would go in search of that. Once they find the financing criteria, they would appraise the project, and then comes the next step of the implementation. In the implementation, the company would implement the project and they would start working on it. As soon as they would start working on it, and after the completion, there would be the performance review of that project. That would be the last stage in project financing. In performance what we can say, review of the project, the company would see whether the project is performing as planned or not, or is there any kind of deviation or change in the performance of the project. If everything is okay, then it is well good thing. If something is not according to the what we can say determined or planned structure, then company would have to react on it, and they have to rethink on the from where the deviation has started and how we can control the deviation. That would be the last stage of the project financing. So in all there are 7 stages. First is identification of the project, second is preliminary screening, third is recognizing and minimizing the risk, fourth is feasibility study, fifth is appraising and finance, sixth would be the implementation, and last would be the performance review. Next would be the aspects of project appraisal. In aspects of project appraisal, there are in all 4 aspects: technical appraisal, market appraisal, financial appraisal, and economic appraisal. We will start with the technical appraisal. So the first one is the technical appraisal. This appraisal is done to ensure all the technicalities or technical aspects related to the successful commissioning of the project that has been what we can say that has been implemented by the organization. It considers each and every technical aspect like availability of raw material, the quality of raw material supplied, availability of utilities like power, infrastructure, warehouse facilities, what is proposed technology with the alternative state of technology which is right now available in the market. Is there availability of proper machinery and plant and machinery in relation to the proposed technology? It should be there. If suppose that the plant and machinery with the proposed technology is not available, then again we have to see how we can manage this kind of situation. Next would be what are the technical specifications of plant and machinery. All these technical aspects are needed to be seen in the aspects of project financing. The very first aspect was of technical appraisal. So project implementation schedule and technical and executive management available during the implementation period and for the operation of the project is seen in the technical appraisal. Second one is the market appraisal. In market appraisal, usually we have to answer 2 questions related to the marketing of the project or market appraisal of the project. The very first question is, what is the size of the total market for the proposed product or service which we are going to produce or which we are going to offer to the public? That is the first question. Second question, what will be the project share in the total market? So first of all, we have to determine what is the size of market, and after that we have to determine what would be the our size in the total market. These 2 questions are the very much important question for the market appraisal. After we get the answer of these 2 questions, then only we are able to commission that project or to implement that project in the implementation criteria. In market appraisal, answers to these both questions are equally important because a dominant position is rapidly shrinking in the market and market is totally getting uncertain. That is why these 2 questions needs to be answered carefully. Based upon the available data, the market analyst estimates the future demand of that particular project, and they would create what we can say, they would using that what we can say forecasting technique, they would go for the knowing the demand, what could be the demand for our particular project or service in the market, and by that only they can judge what would be the market segment to our product for the customers and what would be our total share in the whole market. That would be the market appraisal of the project. Now third would be the financial appraisal of the project. So in financial appraisal, we have to see the financial feasibility of the project. We have to find out whether the project is financially feasible or not. And in financial appraisal, that is why we will go for the what could be the means of finance, what could be the production cost and profitability of the project, what would be the cost of means of finance, what would be the estimated cash flows which would be generated from the project for the particular period of time. We have to prepare the what we can say. We have to get the data related to the financial. We have to prepare the balance sheet at the end of each financial year during the period of the project, so that we could get the detailed report of the. We could get the detailed financial report. We have to forecast financial data also, and we have to consider all the costs related with the project. For example, land and development cost of building. Then building and civil work which we need to construct for the purpose of which is related with the project. Then installation of plant and machinery and its cost. Then would be the technical know-how and engineering facilities which would be needed to us from time to time. Then other fixed assets which would be required for the purpose of successful running of the project. Then working capital requirement for the project which would help us to have the rotation of the project. And lastly, what could be the preliminary and pre-operative expenses which would be associated with the project. These all could be the possible the financial appraisal things which we need to think before getting the financing for the project. Hence, in the fifth stage, we have gone for appraisal thing. Last aspect of project financing is the economic appraisal. Economic appraisal, or it is also known as social benefit analysis, which is done usually by the government or financial institution in order to judge whether the project is desirable from the societal point of view and economic point of view, and it is considered important as in what we can say economic appraisal. It is been seen that whether the objectives desirable for the society, like employment, better products and services, better quality of product and services, impact of the these things are being served by the project or not. Apart from that, other things like the impact of project on the distribution of income in the particular society area, impact of the project on the earnings of the people which are working in the particular area, what are the regional development criteria made by the project are being met or not, is being seen in the economic appraisal criteria. So in aspects of project financing or project appraisal, there are four things which we have to see. First is the technical appraisal. We have to look about the all technicalities which are related with the project. Second one is the market appraisal. We have to answer two questions: what is the total size of market for the product or service which we are going to offer, and second, what would be our size in the market after when the services are offered. Third was the financial appraisal. In financial appraisal, we look about the cost feasibility or financing feasibility analysis of the project. And last one, the fourth criteria is the economic appraisal. In economic criteria, we see from the societal point of view whether the project is acceptable or not. Now we will see for the sources of project financing. In sources and means of project financing, the very first means or source can be the share capital. Usually, we all know what is share capital. We have discussed in detail in the previous unit what is share capital. So the company can go for issuing the fresh capital for that particular project, so that they could raise the long-term finance without any kind of worry about the repayment from a point of view. So the very first source can be the share capital. Second source can be the term loans which can be obtained from the financial institutions or banks for that particular project with a long tenure of 10 to 15 years or more as per the agreement between the company and the banks. That can also act as a source of finance for the project. Next can be the debenture capital. Company can also go for debt capital from the debenture holders and they can raise the funds from there. Again, the criteria would be same, the tenure would be long and the repayment schedule for both term loan as well as debenture holders would be from the cash inflows from the project. Next would be the deferred credit can be obtained from the suppliers of the project or the facilitators of the project. Deferred credit can be obtained from them. Next would be the miscellaneous sources like unsecured loans can be obtained, public deposits or leasing and hire purchase financing can be used for the purpose of raising the finance for the project. In the next lecture we will see about the venture capital. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.